What's up, guys? This is A&A Hobbies. I'm Corey, and today I'm going to show you how I take my Lego sets from looking like this on display to looking like this on display. So, as many of you may know, if you've watched any of my videos, if you haven't watched any of my videos, you should probably check them out. I love to build custom stands for most of my Star Wars sets. I think it just adds to the displayability of them. I think it really allows them to be seen as they're meant to be seen rather than just laid flat across a shelf. The UCS sets all come with stands for a reason. And you can take a set that is not UCS, such as the 20th Anniversary Slave 1 or last year's Y-Wing, add a bit of a stand to it, get creative, and really enhance the set, in my opinion. So I thought today I would show you a couple of the sets that I've built. I do have quite a few of them, but today we're going to look at these four primarily: the Y-Wing, Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, I got Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter here, and the 20th Anniversary Slave 1, all of which that I've built my own stands for. I guess you could call them mocks because they are a creation of my own. It's really the only mock building that I do. And as I show you these, I need you guys to keep in mind, I do not have a huge collection of bulk Lego. This is just one bulk buy that I managed to get a few months ago, and that's all that I've been working with. I've really enjoyed doing it, so I'm going to be in the market for some more bulk Lego if I can find it. So I'm going to show you guys through these four stands. I got some pretty simple brick built ones here, and some that I got a little more complicated with the angles and just with the structure in order to be able to hold up the weight of the model itself. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, throw it a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do that. Leave your thoughts and comments down below on how I could improve these stands, what changes you think I could make, and if you make your own custom stands, I would love to see what you guys come up with as well. So let's get right into it. We're going to start from the right to the left. I'll bring you in close and I'll show you exactly what I've done to make each stand. So the first set on a stand that I'm going to show you guys is Lego set 75249, the 2019 Y-Wing. The set itself came with 578 pieces, and I thought it would look really good with a stand kind of in a flight mode position. So I decided to get some pieces together that really complemented the set itself. A bunch of white here because obviously the Y-Wing itself is white. I did throw some gray accents into it and a little bit of black just to kind of break up the monotony of the white and gray. The trick to this set was because it is so long and I wanted it on an angle, I had to get it off the ground. And to get it off the ground and have it be stable, I needed to make a nice wide base down here. I'm really big on things being symmetrical, so I really try to kind of make it the same on both sides with whatever pieces that I had, and just kind of add a little bit of detail in here with these grill pieces and these slope pieces here to clean it up. I found two of these printed sword pieces, so I thought I'd throw them in there. And then as a little extra touch, I found these other swords, again just in bulk Lego sets, so I clipped them on there just for a little bit of detail. I managed to build these Technic rods into the base. So they're going to be into some like 1x2s with the pin inside, and then I just built around them and supported them all the way up, and was able to give them enough vertical support to stay strong, and then just reinforced it up here at the top. The tricky part with this one is where it came into where I wanted to get the angle. I had to build a bit of a flat base to carry the weight out a little bit further off the top of the main stand here, and then I used one of these hinge pieces in here on a flat plate with it built up to get the angle that I want, so it rests on all sides and remains supported. And then you just clip that plate there into the bottom of the Y-Wing, and she rests very nicely on this angle and is very solid. It's not going anywhere. If it gets bumped or shook, like, it's not going to fall over. It turned out to be a really nice stand. I was happy with this one. It's one that I had to get a little more technical with the Technic and that kind of stuff, and it was really one of the first ones that I tried to achieve a bit of an angle to, and I've tried a couple different techniques. Again, these are probably all very crude techniques and things, but I am fairly new to this kind of stuff, so you're just going to have to bear with me through my learning process when it comes to this stuff. But that's my stand for the 2019 Y-Wing. And the next stand I'm going to show you guys that I built was for LEGO Set 75281. Anakin's Jedi Interceptor that was released here in 2020 very recently. And this one's a little more simple. I was able to get an angle out of it too, but it's a little more brick built, and it really didn't need to be as significant because it's not as heavy as of a model. I actually built this one during the live stream that I built this set on. So if you guys want to check that out, just look down to the live stream of building this set, and at the end of it is where I put this one together. Again, to start it out, always need a good base. You always need a nice wide base to carry that weight load over the model, and then I just simply brick built it up, putting a couple snot pieces in here to add a little bit of detail coming up. And then to achieve this angle this time, I used these 1x2 hinged pieces, and I managed to get them there and get them there. Same thing here on the other side. I got them, achieved the angle, and then I just used these curved pieces here to kind of lock it into the position that I wanted to lock it in. As you can see up here, I'm 3 studs wide at the top, and because these studs at the top did not line up properly, I had to kind of jump it there, and it's a little bit off center, but you can't really tell by looking at it from the front, so it doesn't bother me too much. It's a little bit steep for my liking, but I haven't really found a way to be able to adjust this yet to get it a little more shallow. I could probably go for a little bit shorter pieces in here, but it's just not something that I've got around to messing with yet. And one of the benefits of being able to display this set like this is you can display it with its fins open, and I think that adds a lot to the overall look of the set, and it kind of, again, just puts it into this flight mode and takes this little itty-bitty set and actually makes it a very, very decent display piece. You can get a good look at Anakin in the cockpit there and R2-D2 in his position. And just a nice simple stand, but again, was very happy with the way I achieved this angle, and it's very solid, not going anywhere. Again, you can bump it, move it around, it's not going to fall over. Was really happy with this one. I encourage you guys to check out how I put it together there on the live stream if you haven't yet. And the third set we're going to be taking a look at that I built a custom stand for is LEGO Set 75179, released in 2018, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it's Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. This set was very different to build a stand for, basically because it's so long this way and it makes it very tippy coming down off the front end. And to accommodate that, I didn't go very high off the ground here. If you can see, it's not extremely high off the ground, but a little bit of lift does add huge to the displayability of this set. I kept it pretty simple, just kind of brick built out a nice wide stand to give it some stability. Kept it the same on both sides with the same kind of pieces. Used primarily dark gray in here just because it complemented the dark gray in the set, and the set has a lot of black in it, so I wanted to steer away from a dark color like that. I had this one little printed tile that I found. I just threw that on there for a little bit of detail. Swinging around to the back, I did use this one kind of gray-blue piece just because it was able to span this distance and had a bit of an angle to it, and you don't really see it, but it added a lot of stability to the set. Just stacked a couple 2x2s all the way up here with a plate for stability across, and it simply just hooks into the bottom of the set just like that and supports it very, very nicely. You're really able to kind of get a better look at the model itself with it being on this little bit of a stand. Again, didn't take much for this one. This is one of the simpler ones that I built, and it kind of taught me that you didn't have to get super complicated with them. Sometimes just throwing a couple bricks together and making something that looks really cool that lifts it off the ground is enough to make a set a little more than what it was before. And the fourth and final set we're going to have a look at in today's video is LEGO Set 75243, the 20th anniversary Slave One. And there's absolutely zero chance that I was able to display this set laying flat on its back on its shelf. There's no way you can appreciate its beauty but with laying it flat down. So I definitely had to build a stand for this one, and it really posed to be the most difficult stand that I've had to make to date. It was an early one for me. It was one of the first sets that I got coming into my LEGO collecting, so it was really a little rough. As you can see, it's probably a little bit dusty in there. It's really due for a good cleaning. Probably should have did that before I did the video, but hey, we're here now. So this set, if you don't have it, had this handle incorporated into it. This handle could fold down, and it gave you something to hold on to here if you wanted to swoosh the ship around. It's not something that I was too interested in doing. So what I did was I took the opportunity of this handle being all Technic and built onto it with a couple Technic pieces going vertically down here and giving it a little bit of horizontal support that just locks in through a couple studs on the way down, and mounted this much in the same way as I did the Y-wing, with some kind of 1x2s down in here, and then just built support all the way around it until it kind of locked it in place, and didn't really give it anywhere to go. As you can see here, I had to take a 1x3 or a 1x4 and stand that up in there so it didn't have any wiggle room, so it wouldn't rock back and forth. And then after that, it was really just kind of building it out so that it was able to hold the weight, because this is a fairly heavy model. So I really had to kind of build it out backwards and build it up just to give it some mass in order to hold the weight. It's really only mounted at this one point here and through these Technic pins. This front end is just resting on this section. It's not actually held down by anything, but I think it works extremely well to hold it up in there. I used some dark red pieces, obviously some light gray, because there's a lot of dark red and light gray in the set. Some black just to set off a little bit of a different color, and again just kept it very symmetrical all the way around. This was truly one of the more difficult stands that I had to put together. It was really something that I had to keep attaching it to it and seeing how it reacted. But the way I have it right now is really good. It's not unstable at all. It's very solid on there. Again, my kids are running around all the time, and if you bump this or knock this, it's not going to just fall over on you and smash into 1,000 pieces, because nobody wants that out of their Lego sets. But again, you can just see how having it stood up in this position allows you to appreciate the set in all its glory. It's a beautiful ship, and I would hate to hide it laying down on my shelf. So this is the custom stand that I built for my Slave One. Well, I get asked all the time whether I do MOCs, whether I'm going to do MOCs, whether I'm into MOCs, and I was thinking about it, and I do consider these a form of MOCs. They are a creation of my own, and there's something that I do for a lot of my sets. I do have many, many more in my collection that I've made custom stands for, but I am running low on pieces, so I'm going to have to get on the old Facebook Marketplace or something and find a bulk buy to stock up on some extra pieces so I can keep going on the stands, because the sets keep coming in. So there's a little answer for you whether I do MOCs. I hope you enjoyed them. Again, they're very crude in some ways, but they do function very well, and I'm learning different techniques and different things that work along the way, and I really love the journey and kind of seeing the evolution of stands as I progress. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please let me know in the comments whether you want to see more of my stands and any more stands that I build in the future, because I'm constantly building sets and adding to my collection. So if this is something that you guys are interested in and really enjoyed, please let me know so I can continue doing it. I want to thank every single one of you for sticking with me through another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all my old subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.